you remember the questions back in the day, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? And my question to you is, do you remember? So cool. Anyways, how you guys doing? It's not morning anymore, so good afternoon. Now, today's conversation I want to have with you guys is going to be a little bit kind of a philosophy kind of, oriented, maybe also psychology oriented, maybe a little bit. But so buckle up, buckaroo. Hold on to your butts. All right. So I was having this conversation with my friend this morning, and we were talking about it, and I kind of figured it was an interesting conversation. And I wanted to share it with you guys as well, kind of get your guys' input on it, what you guys think as well. Now, the conversation I was having with him was, so for example, you see this channel, right? It'll talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk about, philosophy, psychology, science, technology, maybe politics, anime, video games, obviously, right? You see my background, right? So, looking at my background, you notice that there's not really any sports on here, right? There's not any sports, so I don't really know sports that well, and there's only one sport that I watch, there's only one sport that I love, and that's boxing, and it's not even represented on here, right? So I was telling my friend, like, this background just kind of looks like a fucking fifth grader's room, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, that's true, and I'm kind of very happy with that, to be honest with you. So there's this one idea, kind of like, just this theory that I have, right? And I kind of want to share it with you guys. This idea that I have, and I've kind of been using it in my own life. So more of like an experiment in my own life, which I do a lot. And so the thing here is, I believe most people are not happy with their existence or their job titles or their jobs or whatever, the day-to-day. I think most people are not happy with it. It's because of one secret reason, and I don't think most adults are aware of this. And that's gonna be reconnecting with the inner child that you once were, okay? And I think it's actually really, really important that people do this. And unfortunately, I think 98% of people, 99% of humanity, once they leave that chapter in their life of being a child and essentially being innocent in a sense, they just forget it and they just think it's a part of their chapter, their story. But I think there's something bigger in that stage of your life, right? And I've noticed that once I started to delve into myself and really self-acknowledge and self-analyze myself, I started to realize that the happier I connected or thought about my childhood and who I was as a child, I kind of envied that boy, and I loved his like energy, and his like dedication. When I was a kid, I would always be dancing around, and not shy. So I really connected with this, idea and who I was, and it actually kind of helped me on my path now, which is my acting career and entertainment career. And it's crazy. I don't think a lot of people take more than a second really, to look back at the child that was them. So for example, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? And my question to you is, do you remember? I actually don't. I mean, I think I can maybe recall, but I mean, shit, I've had so many job titles and I've been in so many different industries that, like, I don't even know what to tell you. I might have said a detective or like a police officer or something of that nature, and back then. And believe it or not, I went to school for criminal justice. I mean, I didn't finish school, but I went to school for that. I did have some sort of, connection, relation to that wanting of that, But obviously, I didn't pursue it. I mean, I did, schooling, but I didn't pursue it. And I, obviously found acting in entertainment. But the thing I want you to be aware of that is that I did still stay connected from the child to the adult version of myself, even though I didn't fulfill that idea. I mean, you're still growing, right? You're still trying to figure out yourself. So, but one thing I did analyze as like kind of diagnosing my childhood and my personality as a child was that I was very not shy. I was somewhat outgoing. I was daring. I was always getting in trouble. And these kinds of characteristics, you know, a lot of parents didn't really see me as a good kid as a kid, which I wasn't even a bad kid, didn't do drugs or anything, you know, and I was just a little wild, you know, class clown or whatever. But holding on to that, you know, and analyzing that trait as a child, I realized that that was a very strong trait as to have as an adult, to not be fearful, to not be shy, to always wanting to, just wanting more life, essentially. I noticed that was a very, very key trait, very special trait, and I noticed that I did have it as a child, and I noticed that was separating me from most people. And I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything. I'm just doing this as a scientist and looking outside of my life, you know. And I think, like I said, I think staying true to my child in me kind of brought me to the you know, the reality that I'm at now. I'm in Los Angeles. Keep in mind, I didn't really have any real acting experience. I didn't go to college for acting. I did like 1 or 2 plays as a kid. It's just something that I felt right inside. I was never shy, and I loved emotion, whether it was happiness, sadness, anger. I love emotion. And from that self-acknowledgement of myself, I found some sort of courage as an adult, seeking through, like, trying to connect to my child, you know, and the child in me. And I realized that in this adult world, bravery and stuff, and like it's kind of a dying trait, you know. It's kind of a dying trait, and I've noticed that, you know, these kind of qualities, people want these qualities, people acknowledge these qualities, and some people maybe even envy these qualities, and some people maybe even hate you for these qualities. Just being honest, you know. And but back to the you know, idea of connecting with the inner child. I really recommend some of you guys take a break, you know, on your day off if you have them. If all you got are days off, I don't know. I really recommend that you take time to think about who you were as a child, and, you know, don't think about, it's not about how your childhood was. Don't think about that. Think about who you were as a child and how you faced challenges as a child and how you persevered, you know, and how you wanted more. That's just like I just feel like that's like a basic natural instinct of the body, is to live, you know. And as an adult, life really brings you down, you know, stress, bills, jobs, relationships, desires, whatever you want to call it. You know, there's a lot of like not happy times as an adult. There's great times as an adult, but yeah, like I said, most of you that are, you know, in a job that you fucking hate and are just doing things that you don't really want to do, or you see yourself like me years ago, who was going, you know, doing a job here for 3 years, doing a job here for 2 years, thinking it was it, and then, you know, 2 years later you just feel empty inside, you know. What I'm doing now, pursuing voice acting and acting, this is the most alive I've ever felt, ever. It's mind-blowing, you know. I've had some pretty good respectable jobs in my life, in my town, small town I come from, and people were happy for me, but I mean, it was a facade, it was a phase, I guess you could say, and I hate, you know, I hate that, but that's the reality of, you know, the world we live in now, you know. You just don't know until you know, and the reason I tell you to look into your inner child is because you are all you really got, man, you know. Like, you are really gonna set your day for yourself. The world will definitely pitch the ball, but how you hit it, and if you watch the ball coming, and if you can really put all your might into that swing, you can hit some pretty awesome home runs when life throws curveballs your way. Just being honest. I mean, I've had dark days, I've had great days, I've had days of where I needed to be picked up, I had days where I picked up people. So, you know, like I said, I just really think that this idea of connecting with your inner child, and keep in mind, anything I talk to you about on this channel, You will never just learn, you will never just master in a day. You'll never just master in a moment, okay? I haven't mastered shit, but I have made acknowledgements, and that's where it starts. I spent years studying psychology, I've been single for like 15 years, bro. Like, so you have to be able to think, okay? You have to be able to separate yourself from the hustle and bustle of existence, and you have to be able to just give yourself a moment to really self-diagnose yourself, okay? I'm just being real with you here. I'm tired. I feel bad for a lot of you guys who will never ever know this realization about what really makes you tick. Okay, I'm not even joking. I bet most of you when you were kids were like, oh, I want to be like a dancer, or I want to be an astronaut, or I want to be a doctor, whatever you thought you wanted to be as a child. I bet like this much of you guys, like a sprinkle, okay, salt baby or whatever, salt daddy or whatever, a sprinkle of you guys are actually doing what you said you wanted to do as a child. I bet you like 1%. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just really being realistic with you guys, okay? Like, it's just what it is. And what I want you guys to be able to find is true freedom through that career. Or just not even career, dude, just to be happy again, to be honest with you. Like I said, I mean, this acting job, it's a hustle, man. I have to apply for emails every morning. I have to do auditions every morning, you know, if I get them. This is a hustle and bustle, but I'm happy, man. You know, I used to work in factories. I've done restaurants. I've done suit and tie, 40th floor. I've done it all. And this is essentially the most happiest and freeing I've ever felt in my life. And no, paychecks aren't guaranteed. They're not guaranteed, dude. It's just not how this life works, but this is the happiest I've been. And I just wish some of you guys can also find that too. You know, I really do. I really do. Because who knows what you could be. And all these people who say, oh yeah, you know, I was a kid. Like, I can't really do this. I can't really be an astronaut. I can't really be a doctor. I can't really be a dancer. I can't really be a fucking cartoon character. Let me tell you something, dude. You can. You actually can. Believe it or not, in a sense, I am like living proof, dude, that you can be all of those things. Waiter, car engineer, I don't know what I did, car assembly engines, forgot, it's been so long. Corporate property management, I did all that, and I thought all that was me, okay? It was, to an extent, but it wasn't fully me. This is fully me, and I love it. I love it. I love when someone gives me a character to play, and I play it to my best emotion and feeling, and if they don't like it, they tell me they don't like it. If they like it, they're like, dude, you're awesome. And that feels really, really good, man. It feels really good. I don't even know how to explain it sometimes. I just wish you find your own thing, you know, and at the end of the day, like I said, this was a kind of a trippy kind of conversation I wanted to have with you guys, but I really believe it's crucial. I really want you guys to try to like delve into that. Remember who you used to be. Bring those droplets of that child to your adult life. And I don't mean like play games. I mean, yeah, do that too. But I mean like really think about how, if you could go back, what you know now, what you would do. Would you pursue everything that you love? Would you pursue the happiness? Would you pursue, you know, all those things? Just think about it, man. Like I said, your career could change. You could be happy. I mean, I'm sure some of you are. I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying I know some of you aren't, and I was one of those people. And I just want you guys to get a chance to acknowledge what true freedom is. I'm not talking like rights and stuff. I'm talking about being trapped in a job of things you don't like to do. Trying to find yourself, trying to find what really makes you happy. Okay, so sorry, I know it's been it was a little long one. Well, I guess it was a little long one, but I hope you like this content. If you did like this content, let me know. Obviously, please put your thoughts and comments in the comments below. I read them all. I would love to engage with you guys. If you think this was a very dumb idea, let me know. Maybe I'm crazy. I mean, to most people, I probably am crazy, so cheers. But anyways, thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you learned something. I hope it helped you in some sort of way. And if it didn't, let me know what you feel in the comments below. Like and subscribe, whatever. It's good to see you guys. Have a great day. We'll catch you on the next one.